What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Marriage Anonymous. First off, we would just like to say thank you to everybody that submitted some questions and talking points. We really appreciate it. If any of you have anything else you would want us to talk about, make sure you hit that link in the description and go to the Ask Questions Here tab. In this episode, we share some experiences about bonding and growing together as a couple, and also share an extremely embarrassing story about me. Just a quick disclaimer, I went into a really dark place during this episode, and the only reason I'm putting this out is if there is anybody that feels the same way that I do, I want you to know sincerely that you are not alone. And on that note, enjoy. Thanks for listening. Frigging Apple devices. Every time, because we take Binley's iPad and then we put it in our room, you know? And then, you'll be in there giving her snuggles, and I'll be in our bed, and I'll just be laying there, watching YouTube, and then all of a sudden the sun comes up because somebody sends you a text or something, and you have that stupid flashing thing.
No, has nothing. The flashing thing is not on her iPad. It's just her screen.
It's
turns
just
on.
the screen?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, that thing, whew.
It's bright.
It
Because
is bright.
she has the brightness turned all the way up.
Yeah, man. No wonder it dies so fast.
Mm-hmm. She turns the volume to full max and the brightness is full max.
Yeah.
So,
That's part of the fun.
The thing I thought we would start with, because I think we've talked about it.
Time out. All right.
Ready?
My head was not proportional in the video.
Okay.
It's still not. What in the is going on? All right, screw it. We're just going to go with that.
So I thought that we could talk about doing our favorites since last time we talked. What we're reading, what we're watching. Is that all I said? And then just updates. We don't really have any updates in life. It's summer. Summer has started. And so Binley's home all the time. And
life is in full swing for you.
Already going insane.
Yeah, life is in full swing for you.
Yeah.
How's that going?
Well, I had the whole rule. I started out really strong in the summer, Binley only had a certain amount of time on the iPad and TV.
Did that just crumble?
Only the last 2 days. We'll be back at it tomorrow, but...
So she's been out of school...
a week.
For a week. And so you made it 5 days.
But here's the thing. Yesterday was a total shiz show with Florence. She wouldn't let me put her down all day long. She did nothing but scream and cry. And I just couldn't, there was no, I couldn't entertain Binley and do that. So, but today I was just, I was, I can't think of the word, recouping from yesterday.
Yeah.
So I just was like, you do your thing. I'm going to watch a lot of TV today.
You do your thing. I'll do my thing.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll go back at it tomorrow. And she's surprising the hell out of me. We also, I say we, it's all me. I have also decided to, take her off melatonin this summer, see if she could sleep normally. And it was great. Nothing. I thought all of this was going to be World War III. She could care less. She's like, cool, great. So yeah. Anyways, but it's been fine. That's really the only updates I think in our family life. Right? Florence is getting bigger every day.
Yeah, she's getting nice and chubby, just the way we like them.
Yep. So, we actually can do what we're watching because you have started watching stuff with me again. That used to be our number one hobby until you became a gamer. And now you've started watching stuff with me again. So
I don't really have a choice. I'm kind of held hostage. Because every time I try to come down here and play, you come down and...
Charles lives a horrible life. So we last night just finished the series finale of Ted Lasso.
And I wasn't very happy about it.
You weren't happy that it ended?
No, I wasn't. I was extremely disappointed.
Oh, you were just disappointed in the way it ended. I
No,
thought it was fairly
it was a
decent.
good
The
ending.
season was
The
not
season
great,
was terrible.
but I thought the last episode was good. I thought it ended pretty good.
Yeah, I guess.
But that show, season 1,
Was the best.
just chef kisses.
Yeah, I think everybody knows that though.
Yeah. Well, it's not like we're gonna talk about anything like earth shattering. We have also been watching. We watched that like movie documentary thing called Reality. You didn't like it. I could tell you weren't jazzed about it. I thought it was interesting. That was on HBO, right? I feel like we've watched something really good.
We watched Chernobyl.
Oh, that's what it was. That was really good. That's old though. We're late to that game, but I haven't heard anybody talk about it.
Yeah, that's.
I feel like
I
that's
think
for
it
like
came
a
out in
niche.
2019.
A niche.
It
I don't
was-
think everyone would like it.
It was very funny watching you watch something about history
Because I'm so
because you
dumb.
have no idea.
I am dumb. Like I am not and people
You're
say
not
you should
dumb.
I am dumb.
You're just not interested in history.
No, but it has nothing to do with that. Like I think its stuff is interesting. I don't know how to explain my brain, and I don't know if it's just like ADD, if it's I have some sort of learning disability, what it was, but literally nothing. No subject, nothing sticks in my brain. Like that's the thing. Nothing stays in my brain. It never has.
You can remember a whole hell of a lot of things that I've said.
That's your response every time I say this. I can remember like conversations and life stuff, but like math, history, science,
Yeah, history was like history is my favorite, one of my favorite things.
and I think that's so cool.
Like I listen to I listen to World War II podcasts
Yeah.
about like the history of World War II.
Like I would like that. It sounds so interesting to me, but it's like if I was like, okay, so go bleeding into what we're reading. I started reading 11/22/63, which is
Yeah.
one of your like
Great
favorite
book.
books ever. And like it's been a really good book, but there came a point cuz it's so if people don't know what it is, it's a Stephen King book that
It's about the assassination of JFK.
but it's a thing where he can go back in time and he's trying to stop the assassination of JFK. So it's very like a lot of history
Yeah.
stuff is in it. Like when they start like I'm only a few hours into the book and there came like it was super interesting. I was all into it. I'm all right there. I'm following everything that's happening. And then all of a sudden they like I can't even remember, but they like veered off into the conversation of different like leaders or something. And I was just like I don't know. For like 20 minutes, I was like, I have no idea what they're talking about. They're talking about like I couldn't even tell you. I'm sure you, not reading the book or whatever, could tell me the name of the guy who shot him. No idea.
Yeah.
I could
Oswald.
like I think they were talking about him and like his family or something. And I
His
was just
wife
like,
and-
I don't know. I don't know what they're talking about.
It was an inside job for sure.
But that's what I mean is like it's all interesting stuff to me, but as I start to try to get into it, I feel like unless you're in a history class where they start and like tell you everything, it's kind of like if you're listening
They
to
don't.
a World War III podcast, they're not going to go back and give you all the details. They assume you already know what they're
There
talking
has not
about.
been a World War III yet. There's no World War III podcast.
Yeah.
It has
You
not
know-
happened yet.
You know what I meant.
Yeah.
World War II podcast.
The World War III podcast is coming soon.
TBH.
Yeah.
No, not
TBD.
What's TBH?
TBA. TBH is nothing.
To be honest. is what TBH
Yeah,
is.
I have no
Anyways,
idea what TBH is.
but like I assume if you're listening to that, they assume that you already know what they're talking about. So they just like jump in and are I mean, you get obviously they're going
No.
in depth into stuff, but you understand the general basis of the thing. Like they don't have to go back and explain like, "Okay, you want me to really embarrass myself?" Like
I could care less.
you
whether
you
embarrass
are
yourself.
going to roast me.
Come on with it.
I couldn't tell you like who World War II or World War One who they were. The what it was.
You gotta be kidding.
No idea. Not a single clue. And it's not like I didn't learn it.
Adolf Hitler does not ring a bell.
Well, no, I know that is. So it was against him?
It was Germany, Japan, and Italy. And the Russians were kind of
With us?
just doing their own thing in the beginning, and yeah.
You don't need to give me the lesson. But it's all the world wars are with us.
We have been involved in both of them, yes. There's only
What
been
was the
two.
Pearl Harbor one?
That was World War II. That's how we got into
With Japan.
World War II, yeah.
See, I only know of that because of Pearl Harbor, the movie. That's one of my favorite
Great movie.
movies.
Don't know how accurate it was, but it was a good movie.
Yeah, needless to say. Anyways, that veered off into a tangent. So that's what I'm reading.
Nice.
Oh, and I'm also
Maybe you'll learn
nobody
something.
cares. That's what I'm reading. What I'm physically reading is the differing of genres. I'm listening to a historical fantasy by one of the great authors of all time. And then I'm reading a smutty
Who would have thought?
fairy tale.
Who would have thought that you would read
fae fantasy series. It's not super smutty actually. I thought it was going to be like no, it's
bad.
really not. I thought it was going to be like so bad because it's on Kindle Unlimited and that's where all smut goes to thrive. But I'm on book 4 and there really hasn't been that much. But it's very good. They're all like over 700 pages long. I've been reading them since before Florence was born.
700 pounds.
700 pounds. 700 pounds.
700 pounds of sex.
No, it's really not. It's actually really good. I really like it.
I'll take
Anyways,
your word for it.
What are you listening to? I haven't asked you for a long time. Normally, I'm always asking you.
I listen to the same stuff all the time.
Meaning you're rereading
No,
stuff?
I listen to the exact same book.
Well, I know, but I want to know specifically. What are you listening to?
Oh, the book. I just finished a series. It's called Son of a Bitch. I'm having a brain fart.
Welcome to my life. You just finished the series?
Yeah, the latest book that came out.
So it's not done.
So I recently
book
finished
20?
No, it's book 4.
Oh, that's a surprise.
I just finished the latest James Reese book. Where the frack?
That's what we really need. We need a sponsorship from Audible. Do they do sponsorships anymore?
Yeah, I have no idea to that question, but the latest series I just finished is called The Farm Behind the Curve, and it's about these doctors. It's a group of 3 couples that like as soon as COVID hit and the pandemic and everything and society kind of breaking down for a couple of weeks, they move out, they go and they buy a farm.
Oh, you were telling me about this series. Yeah.
and kind of do that whole living off
Like
in
off
the
grid.
off the grid, and then the the last Jack Carr book that came out last month.
Is the last you're saying
It's
you're veering off now? That was another thing you read.
yeah, those are the.
Okay.
But I read the same. It's either like end of the world stuff, like prepper books, war books, spy novels. If it's not violent, I'm not listening to it.
I don't. And you need to get more into because I mean you like love Blake Crouch. I don't know why you don't read more sci-fi.
He hasn't come out with a new book lately.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, and I read it.
I know, but I'm not. I'm saying read more sci-fi. I didn't say read more Blake Crouch. There's a whole genre out there of
Is
thousands
this
of
podcast
books.
about books or?
You know what? Why are you getting irritated
I'm
about
just
the
wondering.
conversation?
Like, are we talking about books or are we talking about marriage
Yeah, we
stuff?
are talking about books. I said what we're watching and what we're reading.
That's what I'm reading.
Are you liking it?
I love it. Every second of it. I'm pissed off that all my books have ended. I have nothing to read now.
Yeah.
And I only have one Audible credit.
Someone convinced this man to use other apps than Audible. He wonders why we're broke. We have questions. Someone finally
Whoop, whoop.
responded to us. So that's what this is. I don't know if it will all like cohesively, because there's 3 of them, go together. So I'm just going to start at the top. You do not know what these are.
No shit.
The first question is, what do you two do to bond? Nothing.
Here's the thing, Bobcat. All right?
Here's where our where we really show our panties here. I can't think of the wording I want to use. We don't bond. So I'm going to throw the question to you. What do you think that we do to bond?
The more and more we get into this stuff, the less and less and less qualified I feel. Like we should.
We have never
freaking talk
said
about it.
that we are qualified. What we
Why?
have said is that we have been through pretty much everything, and
Why-
we'll tell you about it.
Why would anybody listen to us? Because when simple
Because
questions
it's
like this come
fun.
up, I don't have an answer.
Because
We do
this is
normal shit. I don't.
no, we don't. That's what I'm loving about this question, is to show the people that yeah, we're not claiming that we have a perfect marriage or that we have all the answers, because we are really, really, really bad. Besides doing this podcast, we don't really spend time together.
Do you know how much easier my life was when I was a raging alcoholic and all I did
'cause
was
you
play
didn't
video games?
care about it.
It was so much easier. This is so hard for me.
What is?
Talking.
Well, maybe it's just because you're out of practice. You spend all day long in your job talking to no one.
But I have all this time to think.
And that means...
I should have lots to talk about.
Yes, you should.
But I have nothing.
When was the last date that we went on? Can you even say what the last date was? I can tell you. It was for your birthday a year ago when we went to the movies.
No.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
What official date where we left?
It was our anniversary when we went to that Korean barbecue place
We didn't go to Korean barbecue this year.
last year.
So it's been over a year since we've been on a date.
Yes. To be fair,
To be fair.
I don't know if you noticed this, but we were in a pandemic.
Oh my hell.
Second of all, you were pregnant. Absolute miserable
No.
human being.
No, I was not. For like the first couple months.
There is no. You did not want to go do anything when you were pregnant.
I would have loved to go to dinner with you. It's not like I'm asking, when we talk about going on dates, I don't want to like go throw axes or, go bowling. I just want to go to dinner. That's what a date is. Can we go out to dinner without the kids and talk? Not on the internet. So what would you say that we do that's bonding?
That's it.
I'm trying to think if I think there's anything. Because, I mean, the only other thing that we do spending time together is, now that we'll, like, watch TV in the same room with each other. But that, to me, is not bonding. If you want to talk about bonding, it's this podcast. And I don't even really know how bonding this is. I mean, we're just kind of... Because it's not like... To me, a bonding conversation would be, like, you and I... not on here, like having a conversation or something about like real life. We're just talking about stuff that's already happened. You know, like you don't get what I'm saying? It's not like you and I are having a deep connection over these podcasts, unless you feel that way. So I guess my question to this question, now that we've said that, does that make you feel... I don't know, the only word is bad, but I know you don't feel bad. Does that, like, make you think about anything? Like, do you think that's wrong that we don't do anything to bond? Or you're like, not that big of a deal?
I think our form of bonding would be, there's a lot of times where you will say that you can't do something by yourself, so I make the time and effort to go do something with you.
You gotta elaborate for the people.
Oh my god, I'm not ready for this fucking question.
What? Why? What did you just mean with what you just said? Like when I asked you to go to the greenhouse with me?
Yeah, just doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
I guess it would be like service.
Oh, do I just thought of?
What?
We technically have been on dates.
Oh my god, I feel like such a hack.
No, because remember we deemed when we went to Costco as our dates
Yeah.
because we would spend so much money. It's a very expensive date. And then we'd always get a little treat afterwards.
Oh my god, my life is a fucking lie.
What are you talking about? Are you
This
having an existential crisis over there?
I feel like a fraud now.
Oh my gosh, what a fraud. We never claimed to be anything. We claim to be human people who've had a really shitty marriage sometimes, and now we still love each other.
Okay, so here's the answer to the question. We don't bond in a traditional sense. We don't.
That's okay.
We absolutely do not bond in a traditional sense.
That's okay.
Our form of bonding is just making time for each other. Just like me, it sounds so dumb, but yeah, just like instead of coming down here and playing video games with my friends, is to watch interesting shows with each other. And like on my days off, we go to Costco and we go to the nursery, and then I go and take Florence and go sit out on the porch while you pot your plants.
That's all I want.
Yeah, that's our form of bonding. Like sharing funny videos with each other.
If people, I'm sure I know we're not the only ones, but if you looked at our text threads to each other,
They're pretty funny.
well, that's, it's like we don't even conversate with each other. It's just TikToks back and forth. With like one question every now and then with a response. It's funny. And we don't even like respond to the TikTok. It's just like we send them and assume that they watch them and think they're as funny or whatever as the other person. Anyways, but yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. The only thing that I would say that I wish in the bonding is when we were first married, before we had kids, we used to lay in bed at night and we would just talk and talk and talk. Like, I know you do. Like, literally for like over an hour. We just lay there in the dark, staring at the ceiling and just talk.
This just makes me want to do better.
Well, isn't that a
I
good
feel
thing?
like a total piece of shit.
No, that's not at all what I'm saying. Because there's things that I can do to be better. We're 10 years into a marriage. Things start to slip and not be.
Like, I'm just over here, like, making excuses for myself. I'm just like,
But that's the difference too, is that
I'm just tired.
and that's what I was gonna say.
I'm fucking exhausted.
That's the difference, is that you have a job that's really hard.
It's not
and
even.
you're
It's
tired.
I'm exhausted all the time.
I
If
get
I'm not working, I'm doing this,
But what
or
I'm
I'm like making other TikTok video. I'm fucking exhausted.
what I'm trying to say is
And no, I'm not done. And that's bullshit. It's all bullshit. It's not important. That is not a reason to not bond with my wife. I'm having a breakthrough right now. It's all bullshit.
No. But it's like I've said to you a million times whenever we have the conversation, when I ask you to do something and you say you're tired or say, whatever. I understand, but at the same time that it's like then you get frustrated or whatever, and so then you do it and then you're like mad about it, and I'm like, I don't want
Because I'm an asshole.
But let me finish what I'm saying. And then I'm like, I don't want you to be here just because you feel like you have to be here. I want you to be here because you want to be.
I need to work on not being an asshole. If there's one thing that I work on, that's it. Seriously.
We've gone over this. I'm just still obsessed with you and want to spend
And
all
I'm
of
just
my
an
time,
asshole.
and you just want to do other things, which is totally fine. There's nothing wrong with you wanting to
If
do
anybody
other
thinks
things.
I'm being sarcastic or trying to like pull one over on Shay, I'm not. I'm a asshole.
No. I still love you very much.
And this is probably the most in-depth I've ever thought about our relationship in the last while. Like, this
Really?
is just golly,
Who
man.
would have thought a simple question would be? I'm not trying to make you feel bad or whatever. And I'm not asking you to do anything crazy. You need to give me a minute? You want to process out loud, or you need to just sit for a minute?
What the hell is wrong with you? Why would you be married to me?
Because I'm obsessed with you. I just said. I just keep waiting for the day that you want to be obsessed with me. Because I used to be there. Like you just said, I know that life can't be what it was when we were first married. We have kids, we have a lot more things going on. But like, okay, so to make it make more sense to the other people out there. Like, that's why we've gotten to the arguments and stuff we have in the past about how, like, the only time that we do anything together, or that we like, is when we do something with our families. And that always gets under my skin. I'm like, why can't you want to do something with just us? Why is it the only time that we're gonna like go do something? It has to be like, well, look, because our families want us to go do it. Which there's nothing wrong. I am not. To our families out there listening, they're our number one listeners. Don't come for me. I love you all. I'm not saying that. I don't want to hang out with you. But it's like, it's gotten a little bit, well, it hasn't gotten better in the sense that we do stuff without them, but it's gotten better. What was I going to say? That, I don't know. Oh, I was going to say, it's gotten better that I used to feel like I was below your family, but I don't feel like that anymore. But if it's like as far as bonding, quote unquote, what the dictionary would say is bonding activities, it's with family. And I was actually thinking about this the other day. You know, you ask me all the time, like when I bring this up and I say, like, why don't we do more together? And you're like, well, what are we going to do? Watch TV? I don't want to watch TV. Come sit downstairs with me. You don't want to sit downstairs with me. And I'm like, yeah, it's exactly what we just said. The bonding activities that I want to do are not anything crazy. When I go out and plant the flowers, just come sit out on the porch with me and talk to me. Don't stare at your phone. Go for a walk when I ask if you want to go on a walk.
I think the most we've ever bonded is after like a struggle.
Yeah.
After like a fight.
Or the very few times like we went away for anniversaries. The anniversaries have been like the biggest bonding experiences we've had. Because we are forced to be alone for like at least 2 days with no one else.
All right, what else?
You don't want to talk about
no,
this
I
anymore?
don't want to talk about this.
What's wrong?
Nothing.
Well, very clearly there's something wrong.
I'm just questioning myself.
You want
Like,
to have
what's wrong with me?
private
And I am not going
conversation?
to get into that.
That's what
on
I
a
just
podcast.
said. Do you want to privately have a conversation?
No, I want to. What's the next one?
Later. Would you like to have a bonding private conversation?
No, I have a lot of I have to work out.
My life, ladies and gentlemen. Why we never have conversations is because Charles just conversates in his head. Alone.
It's the best way.
No. The next one. It's weird. They don't like have them in an order, so I have to like filter through the ones we've already did. So no. No, we've already done that. Okay. My eyes are all blurry. Tell us what your favorite thing has been about growing with one another through marriage. It's one of those things that it's like not computing in my brain. It's just words going out of my mouth and through my brain.
What does it say?
Tell us what your favorite thing has been about growing with one another through marriage. My favorite thing about growing?
There has not been a whole lot of positive that has happened.
Oh.
There's not been a whole lot of fun.
In our marriage?
Yeah.
Well, I don't think growing necessarily means fun.
Favorite thing.
There's nothing about fun.
That means positive.
Yeah. But,
and there hasn't been a whole lot of positivity.
I feel like growing in a marriage is, like I said, when you grow in your marriage, a lot of times it's not fun stuff. So it's kind of a contradictory thing. I mean, I guess just like my favorite parts about having hard things in our marriage is just that it forces us to. My favorite thing has been to find out and understand more like how much you really actually do like me and love me. Does that make sense? Like I look at, so if I can give like a actual representation of it, I look at the experience of pregnancy and having Binley, the birth of Binley, the first little bit, and then 8 years later, do that again and just see the difference in our marriage is like polar opposites. We had only been married for 2 years. Had even been 2 years. 13 to 15. So it was almost exactly 2 years. And I feel like it was like, what the hell was I thinking? It was almost like having a baby with a stranger. Like when I look back on it, obviously I loved you. I was married to you. You were my husband. And I'm not saying you were like bad to me or like mean to me in the pregnancy. You were amazing in the pregnancy and like what you did for me and stuff. But looking at how you just like, I don't know how to explain it. And this is not like me at all in any way saying anything you did was wrong or whatever. I'm just saying, like, the growth between the two of those in 8 years is just like crazy. Like, the love I not only felt like having Florence and having this new baby and how much I loved her, but like how much love I had like looking at you and doing it with you and being like, oh my gosh, like we did this. That was not there with Binley for me. I think the biggest thing is specifically the delivery and me being able to really express to you what I needed and how I needed you to be there for me. And it wasn't just about Florence. You were very much so like there for me and like making sure that I was supported. You know what I mean? I could make a list and I don't want to do that because I don't want people to look at it and like shame us in any kind of way for how things went and whatever. Because people are nasty on the internet. I don't need that.
Fuck 'em.
And I don't want anything like that's not what I'm trying. I think my point was made clear, hopefully enough in what I've just said.
We have two completely different versions of how everything happened.
What do you mean? You don't even have to, if you don't want to, you don't have to respond with what I just said. That was just my response to what was my favorite thing about growing in our marriage is that was my answer. I don't know if you have an answer.
I think I need help.
Do you want to stop?
I just don't want this podcast to be about me talking about. I'm all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's good. For me, all this is doing for me is like just it's making it's just making me realize how emotionally absent I am.
This episode, this podcast.
The whole thing. I don't give you anything.
That's not true. Over the last several years, because I don't want to sugarcoat it. I don't want to say that's not true, and whatever. It's not true that you don't give me anything. But over the last several years, yes, you have. You've just checked out of life in general. It's not just me.
I love you. I would kill every motherfucker on this planet for you.
Well, and I know
Everybody.
that. I know that.
In my demented, cold, dark, vicious world. That's the only way that I know to express my love for you. And the only times that I ever felt like we have grown together or have bonded is after a war, whether it was between you and me or us and nature.
But is that bad?
Certainly not romantic.
No.
I don't think I have ever loved you more or felt like we grew closer together, and we've both said it, and we maybe have said it in an episode, but the night that we lost the baby.
Yeah.
But during that time, I dealt with some shit, and I still haven't dealt with it, and I don't want to talk about it.
I know. Because we've had the conversation of you not dealing with it several times.
And everything should be great now.
No.
Because a month later, a miracle happened.
But that doesn't make it
And
all
now
okay.
we have a sweet, chubby little baby that just makes my eyes tear up. But I still have a hole.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just because we had another baby doesn't make what happened go away. If to me, it almost even makes it more so thinking of what could have been.
My point is, we've had these amazing bonding, growing together experiences, but I still feel like I'm out by myself. And I guess I should say that with me acknowledging that it's me. Has nothing to do with you. Has nothing to do with anything you do. I have something wrong with me.
Well, we talk about this a lot, and that's what I was gonna say is I don't hold it against you or whatever. I understand you. I know you. And I know that that's how you operate. And I'm never gonna. I shouldn't say never.
It's not fair.
I try to not push you because I know it's not gonna get anywhere except make you upset.
That's not fair.
Well, there's fair or not. I just have to accept and know that that's who you are.
I don't know if it can be fixed.
I don't think it can. That's why I'm saying I just have learned over the years this is who you are. Are there things that I wish emotionally and things that were different? Oh, yeah. But that's not who you are. And that's okay.
I don't like it.
You're the only one that can change anything. There's plenty of things that I do or don't do in the relationship that I don't like.
Do I really want to put this out on the internet?
I don't know. Do you? That's your call.
I think the only reason that this will get put out is because I'm sitting here saying this and I feel like I'm alone.
You're 100% not.
I don't care what you say. I feel like I'm alone.
I know. Well, I'm just saying that, yeah, I know there are plenty of people in relationships that are emotionally unavailable to their partner. So I'm just saying that, like, there's a lot of people I'm sure that can understand how you're feeling.
I don't like it.
Are you willing to do anything to try to change it? Do you feel like you're capable of changing it? And then what can I do to help?
This is how I feel. I feel like I am a rock, but I want to be a tree. I feel like chemically, atomically, I'm a rock. A rock can't be a tree. Doesn't matter what you do to the rock. It's always going to be a rock. I feel like I'm wired as a rock.
So I 100% understand and see what you're saying.
I think that whatever any doctor, psychologist, whatever they want to classify me as being on the spectrum or having Asperger's or whatever, I don't think you can rewire the rock.
So, he said, I totally get it. And I, like I said, accepted basically exactly what you're saying. But I always go back to, like I just said, you have not always been this closed off. So what do you think changed? Because like I said too, it's not just me.
Life.
Yeah, I get that. But that to me is something that you can change. And I mean, you can't change life, but the way you look at it, the way you choose to deal with it. It's like I tell Binley this all the time. When she's like going to school and she'd want to get mad, I tell her, Ben, you have a choice. You can choose to be mad if you want to be mad right now. Or you can go to school and you can go to recess and have fun and be happy. It's obviously not just that simple. But if that is what's made you this way.
The biggest question that I have is how can you love somebody as much as I love you and still be an ass?
Because human beings are all selfish. I've been
I
saying
don't like it.
I'm the same way. There's plenty of things that I think about myself when it comes to terms with you, where it's like, why do I say some of the things that I say when I know it's just going to make you upset?
Those to me are small things.
Okay, but I'm just saying that, like, I don't do everything I'm possibly capable of to show that I love you.
I'm having a fraud complex
Yeah.
with I'm saying one thing deep in my heart and in my head. That's how I feel. And then somebody asks, how do you guys bond? And the only answer I have is through conflict.
But I'm sure
And
that that just was
what's
what
your
can come to your
what's
mind.
your favorite way that you've grown together is through the loss of a child.
I'm sure, though, that that's just because those are the biggest things that stick out in your mind. I'm sure there are other things, if we, like, in the moment thought about it, are there. I don't think that anything our life is really outside of the norm. I don't think people who are married with children are having these incredible happy bonding experiences all the time. I don't think that's a normal thing. Nothing bonds people more than death and things like that. That's just a universal truth. Because that's where you truly get, like, there's never been a time that I've seen you at your rawest, realest form than that day. And when you can be that vulnerable with somebody, then yes, you're going to bond incredibly so. But we have done lots of fun things that are bonding as well. Going to concerts, having our anniversary getaways, even just like simple little things. Driving in the car and like laughing or being like, just like really think about it. Like, I don't know, all these like dumb things are popping in my brain. Like the whole wedding ring thing and like going through that. I just, like, just think, like, there's lots of stuff that has bonded us.
We're really good at making jokes.
Yeah, we are. In the last couple of days, I've laughed at some really funny things have happened. For some reason, I can't think of them, but I know that some really funny things have happened in the last couple days that you and I have both said. I won't say it because I will not embarrass you on this podcast, but you know what I'm talking.
So there we were.
You're not gonna expose yourself. If I could have one moment just like recorded and I could just watch it and experience it over and over and over, it would be that
So if you've made it this far,
one.
I'm about to redeem myself. So for the last 13 years, there's this thing called...
Okay, you act like you're the only person. Do you know how many people are obsessed
Am
with
I
it?
telling the story or are you
No, but
telling
I
the
want
story?
people to understand that hopefully you understand.
This is the most embarrassing thing that's
Charles
ever
is
happened
so
to me in my
embarrassed
life.
that he likes ASMR. And everybody in the
It gives
world
me
wants
the little tingles on the back of my neck that
it does
just
what it does to
extremely
everybody.
relaxing. So I watch these ASMR. Well, I don't watch anything. I put them on and then I fall asleep. Well, what happened was,
Oh, okay. So yeah. So Charles for 13 years has listened to ASMR to go to sleep at night.
yeah, and
And I've known this. This isn't a secret.
yeah,
It's not a secret, but
I
it's
can't,
not something that we talk.
I can't f***ing believe
I can't believe it either.
that I'm about to tell this.
I can't believe
I'm-
believe we've gotten this far.
I'm so glad that this is happening at the beginning of the podcast life cycle, because hardly anybody's going to hear about this. Since we've been talking about the most depressing shit on the planet, of all my self-hate.
All right, let's get to it here.
All right. So
Don't
we're in
quit
the car.
stalling.
We're in the car. Let me back up. I listened to my ASMR and went to bed, and then woke up, and me and Shay this was a bonding experience. We're going to run errands, and I'm on the phone, and when you watch a YouTube video and like you just exit out of YouTube and then you plug your phone in,
I don't ever watch YouTube on my phone.
you plug your phone in to the car, it'll automatically start playing whatever you were watching on YouTube. So I end the phone call, and then
Well, you get into you're saying our bonding. What was the bonding experience?
it was the funny.
Oh, yeah. Well, I thought we'd
Yeah.
already classified this.
End the phone call, and automatically starts playing. And I don't think I've ever turned that red
I don't think you have.
in my life. It was the most. You want to talk about being stripped down to nothing?
Because okay, so like we have to like
Like
be a little bit
Shay
more.
saw my bones, man.
I seen your butthole.
Yeah, I would rather show you my butthole.
Let's be honest. We've been married for 10 years. I've seen your butthole.
You haven't seen my butthole. You've seen my butt. Maybe seen my butt crack. You've never seen the butthole.
Because I mean, it's not again. This isn't a something I didn't know about Charles, and he's like explained to me the type of videos he likes to watch.
I like the typing ones.
But I mean, I am not. I mean, I get it. There are ASMR things that will pop up with certain sounds, and it gives me the tingles. Like I get it, but there's certain ASMR that I just don't get.
I don't like the whisper
and
ones.
I don't
The
like.
whisper ones freak me
Well,
out.
that's basically.
No.
It wasn't like it popped up and it was typing. That would have been fine.
Yeah, it wasn't. It wasn't whispers.
It was.
I
It
don't watch
popped
the
up
whisper
and it was
ones,
a
they freak
lady
me out.
talking, and it it was just kind of. That's why it was so funny.
I'm
It was-
probably turning red right now.
it
I'm gonna
was-
just pull my hat down.
It
little
was like,
bit.
like all of a sudden it was like this woman whispering to us in the car.
She wasn't whispering.
She wasn't talking.
She
normal.
wasn't whispering.
I wish I could remember what she said.
I might cut that out. I don't know.
It's okay. Like I said,
Oh,
like if you had a room full of 50 people, 35 of them listen to ASMR.
but they probably are not going to tell you about it.
It's not weird.
It's weird.
It's not weird.
It's weird.
It's not. That's why I always am like, there's been times, now this I'm talking to the audience here. There's been times that like I've brought this up and Charles I thought he was going to murder me. And I was like, what? I didn't think it was a big deal to talk about, like everyone listens or knows what ASMR is. It's not like you're the only weirdo out there.
I want to crawl under this table right now.
Binley loves ASMR. She asks me all the time, Mom, can I watch ASMR? And she's the weird one. She likes the eating ones.
Yeah, those ones give
Oh,
me
those
the
are the
heebie-jeebies.
worst. Having to sit in a room with her watching, and it's just their mouth,
Yeah.
and she just. Gosh.
All right, what's the next one?
Oh, we're still going. Okay, that was an abrupt ending to that
We're
topic.
done.
You don't want to talk about that anymore?
Nope.
We will talk about it later.
No, we won't.
You're the worst.
I'm sweating right now.
Oh, I don't think we're gonna be able to. We're probably gonna have to do a whole another episode because they said, "Can you share more faith/spirituality convos?" I don't think that's one you can just toss in there. I guess if they're asking, we're gonna have to do another episode.
We're just hitting all the heavy, aren't we?
And this is what I tried to tell you when you were like, no one wants to sit and listen to all this dark, depressing stuff. Yes, they do. That's what people want to listen to. They don't want to listen to just a bunch of fluff.
Dude.
They want, it's just like you talked about. Whenever you tell me that I should do a YouTube channel about our family or whatever, and I'm like, no one would watch that. You're like, everyone is obsessed with other people's lives. Yeah. They want us to talk about all of, they want the dirtier, the darker, the rougher, the better. That's what people want. That's what I want. But yeah, we're not going to talk about that right now. Because that's just going to go off into a huge thing and that we don't have. I'm sure this is already over an hour at this point.
Yeah, but I'm gonna. There's a lot of pauses, a lot of extended pauses of me trying to come up with something.
Mom?
I really hope everybody quit listening before we got to the ASMR part.
Oh my gosh.
I am not clipping that shit and putting it on TikTok.
You choose what you do. I don't. I guarantee you will.
Oh, I just don't think anybody wants to hear me talk about my deep, dark, cold heart.
No, I don't think that's what they want to listen to. I think they want to listen to you show vulnerability as a man and be able to recognize where you can do better. Sure, there's a lot of women who could watch you, and I'm going to have to start beating them off. Gonna be like, this man, look at him being emotionally vulnerable.
Look at this piece of
No, not at all. It's hard to admit faults. Lord knows I don't. Like I always tell you, I am just obsessed with you. And I just want you to be obsessed with me.
I am. There's only one person to obsess over. Well, it's bedtime.
Yep.
If you made it this far, congratulations.
Thanks for questions. Keep leaving them.
Sorry to be the Debbie Downer.
That was the... No! Stop. Shut your face. And we will get to the other one in another episode.
Yeah, we'll do another one. This will be a 2-episode week. We'll do that one tomorrow night.
Okay. Sounds good to me.
All right. I love you.
I love you so much.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah. Well, thanks for talking.
I wasn't talking to you.